the end of today's lesson, you should be able to solve one-step equations for a variable. So how do you solve one-step equations? As a reminder, the goal to solving one-step equation is always to get the variable by itself. A lot of times we use x and y, but it can be any variable. It can be a, b, it could be a picture of something, it could be a letter you've never seen before because it's a Greek letter. Either way, it doesn't matter. You get it all by itself, solve the expression on the other side of the equal sign, and you find out what your variable is. You have to remember that you're always doing the opposite operation of what is being done to the variable. So if you have, and we're going to start super simple, okay, so if you have x plus 3 equals 8, to get x all by itself, you're going to do the opposite operation. So you're going to subtract 3. Now, as a reminder, to keep this equal, you have to do the same thing to both sides of the equation. So x plus 3 minus 3, these two things are going to equal 0. So you get x plus 0 equals 5. Now plus 0, we don't even have to have that, so just x equals 5. Okay. Likewise, if you are multiplying the x by something, so x times 4, now you could put times 4, you could put the dot 4, or it could look like this. Most likely it's going to be like that. So if 4x equals 8, right here we're multiplying. So the opposite operation of multiplication is division. So we're going to divide both sides of the equation. Remember earlier in the year when I said you always read fractions as the numerator divided by the denominator? This is one of the reasons. So when we divide this, these become 1. So 1x equals 2. And once again, just like this plus 0 over here, you don't need the 1 there, so let's not write it. So we get x equals 2. Okay? So the keys that we need to do, okay, is you need to do the opposite operation. Perform the opposite operation. Okay, so that's kind of step 1. And then you're going to make sure to do it on both sides of the equation. So whatever you do to one side of the equation, you must do to the other side. Okay, so I'm going to star that, I'm going to star that. So two things. So let's have a couple more examples. Negative 3 plus x equals 5. You can subtract negative 3, right? Or subtracting a negative is the same thing as adding. So in this case, I would just add 3 to this side and then add 3 to this side as well. I don't know why my 3 has a little curly Q on its head. Once again, that equals 0. I'm not even going to write it. And here we have 8. Okay. Let's do a division problem. So x divided by 5 equals 20. So right here I'm dividing by 5, so instead I'm going to multiply by 5, and I choose to multiply by 5, and if you want to put 5 over 1, that's still the same thing, it's still 5. And I gotta do that to the next side, once again, so we can multiply straight across. We've got 5x over 5 equals, and 20 times 5. Sorry, I don't know why I went so large. And so 100 So these divide to be 1, so we get x equals 100. This is known as a one-step equation, okay? You only have to take one step in order to solve for the variable. You can probably guess that tomorrow you're going to be doing two-step equations where you have to do two things in order to get the variable all by itself. One that I want to show you real quick is what happens if you see negative x equals 2. Okay. As a reminder, this here is really negative 1 times x equals 2. So just like before, we're multiplying negative 1 by x. So you're going to do the opposite operation. So you're going to divide by negative 1. And whatever you do to one side, you must do to the other. These divide out to be 1. So we're left with x equals 2 divided by negative 1. It's a positive divided by a negative. And we're going to get a negative 2. What happens if your variable is on the other side? So let's do something like 4 equals 2x. It doesn't matter which side the x is on, you still want to get it all by itself. So this is still 2 times x, so you're going to divide both sides by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2x divided by 2 is just x. So x equals 2. All right, thank you.